Hello, welcome to AQS Inmate Call, and I am your host, Joel Wilborn. Now, in the continuing series of Gregory Brown, uh, in this particular episode, he is discussing some emails and some theories that he has about the way he's being treated and some of the other inmates. Now, he doesn't just speak for himself. He'll use his personal examples to show you what he knows firsthand and that he can discuss in full detail. But there's other instances too that come across him, and he's working with folks to get things done too. And as a prison advocate, I talk to all kinds of people in all kinds of different prisons, and there's all types of different issues out there. And on occasion, I'll run into somebody who is innocent and locked away, or someone who has received a longer sentence than would be expected for that particular crime. And like a lot of people say, you do the crime, you do the time, but that includes proper care, proper sentence, and a chance to speak out and be heard in case there's some things going on that are out of the ordinary, not stifling or suppressing their speech. And this is one thing that Gregory Brown is talking about. He's got some information that he discovered by doing his own research that helps his case and that can prove that he was wrongfully sentenced. And so he discusses this along with contact information in case you would like to discuss things with him or ask him some questions or maybe help him in his cause. And we all want people to be rehabilitated and we all want them to get back out in society and do well. We don't want to murder a person every time the person goes to prison. And this is a good opportunity to get things out there. And he feels that he's been stopped on some of his endeavors. And this is his story on the process that he goes through and the process that he's, or the issues and the problems that he's running into. So here's an actual conversation from Gregory Brown in the Washington State Penitentiary.
On January 4th, 2023, I responded as follows, quote, "My emails are my property. Neither you, prison officials, nor anyone else has the right to erase my emails or tell me not to draft emails that corrupt prison officials want suppressed. Do not ever delete another email of mine ever again. Stop working with DOC to suppress my fundamental rights. Leave my emails alone." Unquote. On the 7th, Security Representative Bess Palmer, that's what it says, it doesn't sound right to Bess Palmer, responded as follows, quote, "The 24-hour feature for e-messaging drafts was unintentionally enabled across Washington, D.C. during a system check, and after identifying the issue, the stoppage feature was restored to its original configuration and unlimited drafts. Unfortunately, the deleted drafts cannot be retrieved." Unquote. Now, I have a lot of experience with DOC officials responding to my complaints. And I'm going to tell you, that sounds exactly like a DOC official. That is a DOC official response. The translation is, in my mind, and it's obvious, Securus will continue to maintain their 24-hour feature for e-messaging drafts so that they, at any time, upon request by the Department of Corrections, may then supposedly unintentionally enable it another systems check so that any draft emails containing legal breach or information that are critical of the DOC are permanently deleted and destroyed. Securus' implementation of this strange and ambiguous company policy appears strikingly similar to the prison guard's implementation of the DOC policy 42375, which I told you about earlier. One of the most interesting points that I derive out of that is that they didn't say that they're going to go fix the problem so it won't happen again. So just like DOC policy 42375, they're thinking it's okay to make our personal property immediately and permanently disappear. The Securus company policy clearly has the handprints of the Department of Corrections all over it. This is the same reason why Securus refuses to provide prisoners the Office Works Act. They won't let it get Office Works because Office Works would help prisoners do our legal briefs and our legal arguments for our court cases. It's crazy that we don't have access to Office Acts and they're just making excuses, of course, not to have that. Now, is it a coincidence that Access Secure Pack, which is the company that used to provide prisoners a way to purchase items, food items and property items, before the Union Supply took over, that company, Access Secure Pack, is the company that started denying prisoners typewriters that had anything more than 32K memory. For no reason other than DOC don't want prisoners using our typewriters to do our legal arguments and legal briefs. That company, Access Secure Pack, was owned or heavily invested into by former prison officials. Now, this Securus company not only sounds strangely a lot like Secure Pack, yet both of them have the same part name Secure in it. We had Access Secure Pack, and now we have this Securus. They not only sound a lot alike, but they act a lot alike also. Secure Pack is denying us typewriters so that we couldn't do our legal work. And then we got Securus is talking about do our stuff in 24 hours so we can't do our legal work. It's the same stuff, man. These people, they don't know when to stop. In our business drive, we put our heads together to replace all these businesses that are doing us injustice. We will replace all prison commissaries, all prison phone systems with our own. The email tablets, vending machines and visiting rooms and vendor shipment companies and food suppliers. We should have our own that represent our interests and make all the money in the process. Why are we letting them make all the money and treat us like dogs? In addition, we seek to create a universal discount busing system to make prison visitation easier and less costly and more simple for friends and family and loved ones at any prison within the United States by picking them up at their doorsteps and returning them to their doorsteps for less money than they would have spent had they made the trip without us. We also seek to purchase hundreds of large apartment buildings, hotels, restaurants, and car rentals near every prison in Washington State and ultimately throughout the United States. In some instances, a nonprofit organization would be sole owner of these businesses. In other instances, private companies would either solely or jointly own these businesses upon pledging to donate a portion of its profits to the welfare and betterment of the prisoners. Now, talking about here in his business drive is that all money spent by prisoners and their families, their friends and their loved ones should go towards benefiting the prisoners and their families, friends, and loved ones, not towards benefiting those who are against us. Those people making all this money off of us, they're taking our money and then they're giving money to legislators supporting their campaigns to make laws against us. It's a struggle trying to get some good laws around here. Why are we giving them our money to use to make worse laws where we can take our money ourselves and use it to make better laws? In closing, America, in closing off here, well, let me back up and reiterate on this point here. So Access Securus knows good and well that they can stop garbling up my message to you today. Say, I don't know, there's some kind of sickness. They must have some kind of sickness. Why wouldn't they do that? Why is it that my talking to you today is so hard for you to understand that they just wipe that out and clear it up? I want to leave you with that question in your head today. So every time you hear from me and you hear my voice all garbled, think about that. In closing, America, I want to say, with the system that I advocate today, I'm not asking for anything special. I'm only asking for law and order. Until recently, the term law and order had always been applied to the people, to citizens, and was never applied to the police, or to ensure that prison guards and prison officials conduct themselves in a lawful and orderly manner. When has everybody ever gone into the criminal justice system or gone to college to study criminal justice in order for police to police? I still haven't heard anybody say that. But you hear all kinds of people, anytime somebody talking about I'm studying criminal justice. But what do you want to do? Well, I want to make things harder, laws harder on people citizens who violate crimes. You ask them, well, what about the police? They might ask you, well, what about the police? They have no consciousness, no desire to go into criminal justice to enforce the law against the law. Enforce to police the police. Nobody wants to do it. Well, that's what I'm doing today. That's why I'm here. I'm asking that prison and DOC officials be made just to follow the law that is already created and on the books right now to benefit prisoners. All the laws that are on the books right now, I just want them to follow them. Every lawmaker out there and every law-abiding citizen out there should support my position. Just as assuredly as a rock would fall if you hold it up and let it go, I'm telling you now, the proper implementation of my system will expose and bring an end to official corruption, will reduce the Department of Corrections budget by at least 50%, and reduce crime and the rate of recidivism, and will improve the whole of society. It is up to you to make this happen by supporting the implementation of my system. Anyone wishing to help to implement this system should open a Securus account, enter your name onto my email list, and specify why you have contacted me so that I would know how to address you. I promise I will promptly respond to all. Please know that if you do not hear from me right away, it it would be because corrupt prison officials represented me. In peace, Greg Brown, guilty number 281829, Washington State Penitentiary, 1313 North 13th Avenue, Walla Walla, Washington, 99362.